As a small business owner, how do you get used to accounting? That's one question many small business owners struggle with. Not because they hate accounting, but because they've never been used to it. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about how you can truly get used to accounting as a small business owner. Over the years, I've discovered that the problem many small business owners have with accounting is not that they don't want to do it. In fact, most of them would love to understand their numbers better. The real problem is that many of them simply don't know how to get used to accounting. For some, numbers and records have never been part of their daily lives. They've been used to the practical side of running a business: buying, selling, producing, and marketing. Then suddenly, they realize that they cannot escape accounting. At that point, many begin to struggle. It feels foreign. It feels technical. And they begin to see accounting as something far removed from the reality of their business. But that's where the problem starts. One sure way to get used to accounting is to change your perception of accounting. That's it. That's the key. Until your perception changes, accounting will always feel like an external burden. You must stop seeing accounting as something separate, complicated, or disconnected from your business. It is not a strange concept. It is not a special language that only accountants understand. It is simply your business, expressed in numbers. To many small business owners, the moment you start talking about accounting, they switch off. They assume you're about to discuss something abstract, something from another planet. They think it's about endless figures, strange calculations, and complicated reports. But accounting is not that. Accounting is part of your daily business. It's what happens when you sell a product, when you receive payment, when you buy materials, when you pay rent, or when you give credit to a customer. It is the record and reflection of your business life. So, the first step to getting used to accounting is to change how you see it. Stop treating it as something borrowed or imposed. Start seeing it as something natural, something that has always been part of business, even before the word accounting was invented. Let's go back in time a little, to the days of the early merchants. Before we had calculators, software, or accounting standards, the early business people were already doing accounting. They didn't call it accounting, but they practiced it every day. Each time a merchant bought goods, he wrote down how much he spent. When he sold, he recorded how much he made. He compared both figures and knew whether he was making a profit or running at a loss. That was accounting in its simplest and purest form. And these merchants didn't see accounting as something separate from their business. No, to them it was the business itself. It was how they understood their trade. If a trader discovered that his profits were reducing, he didn't need an accountant to tell him. His records spoke for themselves. If a particular route cost him more than it earned him, he saw it in his figures. If a product sold faster or slower, he could tell from his notes. That was the power of perception. Those early merchants embraced accounting as part of the way they managed their businesses. They didn't see it as something technical. They didn't see it as paperwork. They saw it as understanding their business through numbers. And that's exactly how modern small business owners must begin to see accounting. Sadly, we've drifted away from that mindset. Today, many small business owners see accounting as something distant and sometimes even frightening. But when you look at the example of those early merchants, you'll realize that accounting was never meant to be foreign. It was meant to be a simple part of daily business life. They didn't wait till the end of the month to know how they were doing. They knew it each day because they were close to their numbers. That's the attitude you need to adopt. Change your perception, and you'll discover that accounting isn't your enemy, it's your friend. It's not there to frustrate you. It's there to help you see your business clearly. Once your perception changes, you begin to enjoy it. You begin to see meaning in your records. You no longer feel like you're doing something forced. You are simply running your business intelligently. That's how the early merchants did it. They didn't wait for external instructions. They naturally embraced accounting as part of their management. So as a small business owner today, you must return to that old natural perception. Stop disassociating accounting from your business. Stop seeing it as a burden. See it instead as the very heartbeat of your enterprise, the part that tells you whether you're moving forward or backward. When you reach that point, you'll realize that getting used to accounting doesn't require any special course or training. It simply requires a new mindset. Change your perception, and everything else will follow. Accounting will no longer feel strange. It will feel natural. It will no longer be a task you run away from. It will become part of your thinking, part of your daily decision-making, and part of how you understand your business. That's the secret the early merchant understood, and that's the secret you must embrace as a modern entrepreneur. Thank you for your time. You've been watching Accounting for Small Business Owners, where we help small business owners understand accounting and use accounting numbers to better manage their businesses. If you found value in this lesson, please share it, subscribe, and leave a comment.